All right, guys, what's up? It's Jack, and welcome back to another video. So in just a few seconds, zachsmaxed is going to take over, and he is going to explain and expose by demonstrating the problems and issues with Splitgate 2's portaling. And the explanation part is just as important as the demonstration part. So I think a lot of people, whether you're on the more casual side or the more competitive side, are pretty much going to agree with pretty much everything that he has to say. And then when he shows and demonstrates in just a few examples of some of the potential, or should I say the current issues with the Splitgate 2 portals, especially when you compare them to Splitgate 1 and possible fixes and stuff like that, well, just be prepared to have your jaws drop. So with that being said, I'll meet you guys at the outro of this video, and enjoy.
It's frustrating because you guys, your first experience with portals is not the true one, right? I think we all kind of agree that it's almost a step down from Splitgate 1. It's faster and has the potential to be faster, but it's not as fair. Like in Splitgate 1, I can just completely lock down a corner, and then you have to basically force teams to break from different angles, right? So let me give a arbitrary example. So in Splitgate 1, there was a map called Crag. Crag was probably universally hated very early on because it was very hard to portal on. All the routes were disconnected. Mind you, that's a separate thing I can go on in terms of change of map philosophy, because in Splitgate 2, you can portal from everywhere to everywhere. Splitgate 1 had intentionally disconnected routes that you had to walk certain areas, or one-way routes where you could go one way, but you couldn't go back. Splitgate 2 doesn't have any of that, which amplifies the portal issue by 5. But, well, the thing about Crag that I was saying is you can't YOLO push in. You are so tight and enclosed. You know, it's going to be hard if you didn't see it. So I would say there are 3 games within Splitgate based on the level you're playing at. Game 1 is nobody knows how to use portals yet, and a tiny single portal is the massive difference that's a tide turner. Game 2 is you know how to use portals really well and nobody else does, and this is what causes the stomps we see, you know, in the games we played, but most quick play games and anything where you have a high skill individual mixed with medium to lower skill. And the final one is everybody knows how to portal. So what's funny is there's a bell curve where the more people who know how to portal, the less everybody portals, because more routes are blocked and more people are at risk for flanking. So you now know which spots are safe and which are not, because it doesn't turn into a thing where everybody's racing around chasing each other. Now it's everybody is applying kind of like pseudo pressure. So if I'm pushing somewhere and I know you're in a corner and are able to portal to 2 other flanks on me, I know that ahead of time. So I'm just not going to route that way. So when we're back in the situation where only one person knows how to portal, you get all these people caught out in dead zones where the person who can portal farms them.
Yeah.
It's ironic that people are not portaling enough is what's causing portals to be too strong, because only one person's using it. It's like one person picking up power weapons, which was a huge issue in Splitgate 1. I pick up the shotgun and I insta-kill everybody, but nobody else knows how to pick it up. But yeah, part of it is, it's the asterisk of, is the competitive community going to infringe upon the fun of the casual community? The thing is, we need base kit defensive stuff. Again, portal blocking, I think it sounds minor. It's going to be massive. Imagine you cannot cross the map in a second because somebody else's portal is there, and now you have to get close enough to throw your EMP. You can just spam your portals on walls and shut down any movement player. That's how it was in Splitgate 1. We had a pro team called Bork, who would create something called the Bork bunker, where they find a corner and they block everything. Right, so the only way in is you have to push as a team and, you know, actually get a squad wipe. You could not portal in, you could not divide and conquer with that. But yeah, just base kit defense needs to be a priority. But the big thing they're struggling with right now is the game has too many mechanics and binds and buttons. Like, controller is already crazy. They had to add 1 button portaling. When I play on controller, I use 2 separate buttons because that precision is important. But like adding an EMP grenade like in Splitgate 1 is just very hard for them to add right now. So it's all about tweaking it. So like, let's say if it was equipment, how do you balance it versus something like a grenade or a time bubble? giving that base kit, break is just going to be hard to balance. I think the biggest thing for me was like teaching people portals. The reason I brought up portal blocking is that it's a very, very easy thing to do. You don't need to know routes. You don't need to know anything. Just that's a blue wall. Let me block it. Right? That is like step one, baby's first step into learning portals. And then you can learn to use them yourself. Like Splitgate 1 had this issue as well, where the initial learning curve was trial by fire. You are going to get like decimated hard, but the second you like have that, that click, it all works. And I've really pushed hard for like a portal tutorial or some sort of short campaign that puts users in a scripted environment to actually learn the important mechanics. Like, we can have a no portal mode, but I think you're playing half the game because the maps are designed with portals in mind. Some rotations are just going to feel very slow, especially like without arrow, slide, or sprint. Yeah, bypass is an example. Somebody in my chat just brought up that map. The difference between a portal player and a no portal player is insane. And there's no cover. There's no way for you to route safely. Because they're like, you as a player should use portals. So if we play this casual or competitive, any player who knows the map slightly better is going to make it miserable for the other person. And it's more of a game design philosophy issue on their end, because I think they always balance for how it feels to be in the power position, not how it feels to be on a receiving end. Yeah, they're optimizing for the zero-sum game, if you know what that means, where one person wins, one person loses. Let's make that person who wins feels amazing. The person who loses, they're going to feel bad, but let's try and give them a win later, right? They're not making it where, it's fun to lose, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying it should be fun to lose, but back when I played Splitgate 1, I could lose a close game and feel amazing about it. Splitgate 2, not so much. I feel cheated very frequently, and I think that's the same thing casual players feel. In Splitgate 2, you play perimeters, or even like less so in Splitgate 1 because their map design was a little better. But Splitgate 2, the way they've designed their portal walls, you should never be out in open space. You should always be by a wall, whether portal or otherwise, because it gives you something to play around. Almost like, I guess, Counter-Strike in a sense, or Overwatch. Like when you're in the open, there's so many angles people can get around you on. You don't even need to shoot your gun. If you're faster than the other person, you can win. Which is cheese. It's very cheese.
Yeah, you're taking the technique away from everything.
Yeah. So I'm gonna position you, and I'm gonna show you what I mean by Killbox. So I want you to stand right on this like no slip sign here. So let's say I'm spawning in the opposite spawn. One common rollout I do is this.
Right.
So what I've done, I'll slow this down for you. I start here.
Yep.
You look at me here. I go here. I force you to spin, and then I spin this way again. And what I can do is make you 180 and then come back through. And then I can basically perma-pinch you back and forth. So there is no way in this position you're ever at advantage. So the biggest key is just never be here. This is a dead zone, is what I like to call. This is safe. This is dead. There's a very distinct difference, because when you're here, now I'm like, shit, I need out. Right? And that completely breaks my kill box. And now you're out, and now I have to completely reposition because I can't capitalize on you being out of position. So like, come down here for a second. I'll show you all the routes you can kill a box on here and how you would break it if portal blocking was a thing. Appreciate the follow, A-Town. So let's assume I'm breaking from green, right? And I'm reset. So right there, I've just zigzagged off like 5 different angles. And if I'm coming from bottom base, I can zigzag back here too.
Yeah.
In Splitgate 1, all I would need to do is this. And now nobody can push from here. And they're at risk because they don't know what's on the other side of this portal. For all they know, I could have a portal looking here ready to shoot down. So they have to play it safe and play cautiously. Just your act of placing portals on the map that you're not using slows everybody down. Hell, and then you have 2 teammates on here, one person blocks the middle. right? In Splitgate 2 or 1, we didn't have portal nudging. So try placing your portal here. Oh, right, we're teammates, so portal nudging occurs. If you were an enemy, you couldn't place it because I would line it up right in the middle. So now we've blocked like half of the routes. And I could just leave this there and I'm ready to take this gunfight. So it becomes a matter of how fast do I get to an objective and set up, which goes back to a knowledge gap and not a mechanics gap. In Splitgate 2, it's like, hey, I'm going to spawn all the way out here. Like, look how fast I can cut the distance from out here. Can you see me through the wall?
No.
Look towards green.
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
So...
Wow. Yep.
And it's
yeah,
like,
you are everywhere.
I can't. There's nothing to stop me because if you are an enemy and you had your portal here, I'm replacing it. I don't have to take a step out of my day. Like throw us a brass grenade. That's the cooldown we had to break a portal. In like you had to stop your action, do that each time there was a portal, and you had 2 EMPs, and you only got them back if you got a kill. So if you spent all of your time EMPing portals because you were taking blocked routes, you're actually punished, and now you can't take any blocked routes anymore. You might have to walk, you might have to do whatever.
Wow.
Like, that's the level of balance difference in portals we're talking about. It's... the current iteration will never be balanced. That's why it sounds like a portal problem and not a Splitgate 2 problem. Like, that's one of the concerns I had with the game is, like, I could put out tutorials on how to be the fastest person alive, but that kind of perpetuates the issue, no?
Like, it does. No, you're right.
In
it does.
Splitgate 1, I could tell a casual player, hey, block this portal wall, and now you're safe to learn at your pace. That's not safe anymore. Like, in Splitgate 1, the other part of it is the EMPs had an audio cue when they hit a wall. So when you know you're no longer safe, you're ready to react. Right?
Yeah.
Splitgate 2, you don't get that audio cue because it's all client side. So I'm going to hear it as I'm flanking you. You're not going to hear it until I'm on your screen. And I might not even come out of my portal. That's how fast I can be on East relative to somebody on like Midwest. Like the peeker's advantage is insane right now. Because all hit reg on this is also client side to compensate for ping.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn. I have one person asking, how do you think about team play, strategy, and positioning with such a dynamic environment?
So you have to think just as dynamically, right? You have to be able to, like, let's say I am anchoring back here, right? I always have to have a get out plan. If somebody breaks, I might be fucked. But so let's say we're holding this hill, right? This is a hot zone. So let's say I favor green side. That's going to force them to spawn red. I am going to sit here, and now I'm responsible for this, and the drop down, right? And my weak point is if somebody flanks me from green, right? If somebody flanks here, I'll know they're there, so I can take a portal here to flank, but now I'm at risk from an angle I can't cover. So all of these are calculated risks, so I have to clear this, then take this fight, and then back out. Imagine it like Counter-Strike at Mach 5, right? I'm ready to clear 5 angles, and I need to be prepared to do all of that.
All right, so that concludes part 1 of the in-depth conversation that we had on stream with Zach just a few streams ago. So there's going to be a multitude of topics, obviously broken down into videos and edited for the convenience of you guys, the viewer, as well as to get the most bang for your buck in terms of time is concerned. So I'm going to try to get the second part out in terms of the next topic discussed as soon as I can. But with that being said, I want to know in the comment section down below, what did you guys think of this? Have your eyes been opened even further? Is there something that you learned that you didn't know previously? And again, I'll leave a link in the description to Zach's stuff in terms of where you can find him and everything like that. And with that being said, I'd like to thank everybody as always for taking the time to watch and or listen. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.